Morning. So, a group of frogs are hopping along the woods and they're hopping by, and all of a sudden, two frogs they hop and they accidentally fall into a pit. And all the other frogs come and they gather around and they look at the two frogs and they say, "Hey guys, we're really sorry, but that pit is really deep. You're as good as dead." And the other frog says, "Well, we got to try to get out." And they're like, I just think you're wasting your time. So one frog keeps jumping up. So the other frog keeps jumping up. And they're jumping and they're jumping and they just keep falling back down. And the frogs up top are yelling and screaming, "This is a waste of time. You guys are crazy. What are you doing?" And they just keep jumping and jumping. And finally, one of the frogs hears what they have to say and kind of thinks this is never going to happen. And he just drops and dies. The other frog keeps trying and trying. And they keep yelling at him, "What are you doing? You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do this." And the frog just keeps jumping out, and finally he gets out, and they all look at him and they go, "First of all, how'd you do that? And second of all, didn't you hear us telling you? Like, there was no way you were going to do that." And the frog looks at them and says, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I had mud in my ears. I didn't hear. I thought you guys were cheering me on." So, power words are so important. When you tell people something, they're going to believe it most of the time, right? If you tell your kids that they're not capable, they're going to believe they're not capable. And then the other danger is if you tell your kids are capable of something that they're probably not capable of, you're going to convince them they're capable, and that can lead down a bad path too, right? But our words are so powerful, right? Everything we say has power. And whether it's good or bad, it has an impact. So when you don't really have an idea of how your words are going to impact somebody, maybe you want to think before you speak, right? Like the reason this frog was successful, because he was basically deaf at the time. He didn't hear them. He didn't know what they were saying. So he misinterpreted it. And because he misinterpreted it, he was able to save himself, right? But what if he would have listened to him? What if he would have let them tell him he can't do it? He probably wouldn't have done it, and you would have two dead frogs. So our words are so important. And as teens, my God, guys, the bullying, the cyberbullying, the things we say to each other. I mean, just look at how many teen suicides there's been in this country, okay? And it's usually has to do with some type of bullying or some type of shaming. Okay, your words have power. Everything you say has power. Everything you say will impact that person you say it to, whether you think it does or not. Now, I'm not saying in some cases some teens are okay with it. They've learned to accept how to handle this and how to deal with it. Many have, right? I had to learn to do that. But some don't have that strength or the ability to do that. And when you say things to them that are hurtful or mean, they may not know how to respond. When they get shamed, they may not know how to respond to that or, how to deal with it. And then they may do something pretty bad, right? So our words have power. Think about what you say. Think about what you say to others, okay? And also think about what you say to yourself. Do you say to yourself, "I'm bad at this, I'm not good at this"? Because if you do, you're going to convince yourself you're not, right? And also, think about when you say something, how would you feel if you the person on the receiving end? Especially on social media. It's very easy to post something when we can hide behind, the internet. But anytime you're about to post something that you think, this might not sound great, but I don't really care, think about how you would feel if you're on the other side of that, and think if you would say that to the person's face. Because if you weren't going to say it to the person's face, you probably shouldn't say it. So power words, so important. It's one of the most important lessons you'll learn in life is how powerful what you say is, and how you have to really, really make sure that when you speak, you say things with the intention they're meant to be said, and you're kind and not cruel. Because when you're cruel, you can really do some serious damage to somebody else, their self-esteem, so many things. So be smart with your words, choose them wisely, and have a great day.